Hey guys, there's so much news to get into at the moment. Lady Gaga is getting sued by the same woman who stole her dogs because she still wants that reward money. Rihanna has been savagely called out by Peta, and King Chale is seriously struggling to find celebrities who want to perform at his coronation. First up, in one of the most bizarre turn of events ever, Lady Gaga is now facing a lawsuit from an accomplice in the theft of her two dogs Koji and Gustav in February of 2021. She's getting sued by a woman called Jennifer McBride, who claims that she wasn't paid the $500,000 reward that she was originally offered for the safe return of the dogs. But to be fair, this woman was involved in the actual theft. That's really the craziest part. Ironically, her attorney argued that she's still entitled to the reward because the offer stated that there would be no questions asked if her dogs were returned unharmed. But obviously Jennifer did not get the money, and now her attorney claims that the singer committed a breach of contract, fraud by false promise, and fraud by misrepresentation. She is seeking damages of $1.5 million from Lady Gaga for allegedly posting the misleading reward. The lawsuit states that she defrauded her by making a promise without intent to perform. The filing claims that Jennifer has gone through pain and suffering, mental anguish, and loss of enjoyment of life because she didn't receive the $500,000. The incident dates back 2 years, when Gaga's French bulldogs were stolen from her dog walker Ryan Fisher. While doing his job, he was targeted by 5 men, who pointed a firearm at him and forcibly took the dogs. Only 2 days after they were stolen, Jennifer claims that she returned the dogs to the LAPD Olympic Community Station and tried to claim the reward. But the police soon discovered that she had a relationship with the father of one of the men in the robbery. She was then arrested as an accessory to the crime and sentenced to 2 years of probation. But the others did not get off so easy. The police identified James Howard Jackson as the main culprit, and he was ultimately sentenced to 21 years in prison. But the whole robbery was a coincidence. Authorities said that the men did not actually know that the dogs belonged to Lady Gaga when they took them. The motive was actually the value of the French bulldogs, because it's a breed that's worth thousands of dollars. Jackson and 2 others drove around the city of West Hollywood and the San Fernando Valley, specifically looking for French bulldogs, and that's when they spotted Ryan walking with the 3 of them. But the robbery quickly turned violent because he refused to let go of the dogs. Ryan was severely wounded, and he was hit in the neck and the chest, and he had to be hospitalized immediately. He suffered a collapsed lung as a result. Fortunately, he was able to stay with Gaga during his recovery, and she supported him throughout the physical therapy. After the attack, the singer released a statement praising his bravery. She said, "I continue to love you, Ryan Fisher. You risked your life to fight for our family. You're forever a hero." During his recovery, he spoke to Gayle King on CBS This Morning and said, "She's helped me so much. She's been a friend for me. After I was attacked, my family was flown out and I had trauma therapists flown to me. I stayed at her house for months while friends comforted me and security was around me." Ryan said that even though he was terrified when the thieves approached him, there was no way he wasn't going to fight to protect the dogs, despite knowing that he could have died in the process. He also recounted his harrowing visit to the emergency room and said, "When they put the chest tube in, all of this blood just spurted out on the doctor next to me and everyone's faces just dropped. I heard my blood pressure drop. The people in the ER who I'd seen that night told me that they didn't think I was going to survive that night." In the end, part of his lung had to be removed and he had to undergo a lot of physical therapy because of it. Although it took him a long time to heal physically and mentally from the attack, he has since forgiven the men responsible. All things considered, it was an absolutely tragic ordeal, and this latest lawsuit is only rehashing the whole event. And now, in another bit of news, it looks like Rihanna has come under fire yet again, and this time it's because she loves to wear fur. According to TMZ reports, she received a letter from Peta, who tried to convince her to change her wardrobe. The non-profit organization sent her a message after she was spotted walking around in one of her fur coats. Senior Vice President Lisa Lange wrote, "As a mother, you know what it's like to feel protective and to want to make sure no harm comes to your family. Please understand that this desire, this instinct even, is shared by minks, foxes, and rabbits who are torn away from their families and killed for fur." The letter pointed out that it's now illegal to sell fur in California, and even designers like Chanel, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Versace, and Valentino have banned it. The activist group encouraged Rihanna to help create a kinder world for her children to grow up in by deciding that she'll no longer wear fur. They suggested that the fur she already has should be donated to the survivors of the devastating earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, which has left thousands of people homeless in horrible winter temperatures. Lisa Lange really pressed the singer to make a change. She wrote, "You have so much. Won't you please spare the animals who ask for nothing more but to be left alone to live with their loved ones, free from electrocutions, gassings, and beatings that are the standard in the fur industry, and donate your furs to a good cause." The note ended by saying, "We're also sending along a beautiful faux fur coat from Unreal Fur to help you stay warm and fashionable while making the cruelty-free switch. The Australian company is known for making fake fur pieces, but also fake cashmere and vegan leather jackets and coats. But this is not even the first time that Rihanna has been targeted by Peta. Back in 2017, she left them fuming when she arrived at a Dior cruise show in a calf-length fur coat, which she paired with a black hat and blue jeans. The outfit made her one of the best dressed women at the event. But of course, the fur turned out to be a problem. The organization then spoke out against her wardrobe choice and sent her a faux fur coat enclosed with a letter where they encouraged her to consider donating her real furs. So clearly this year they got angry that she wasn't getting the message. At the time, the letter they sent her was pretty harsh. They said that her fans were disappointed in her and basically called her a hypocrite for what she said in her acceptance speech at the Harvard Humanitarian Award. Peta wrote, "Would you please retire your furs and instead choose a look that kills but doesn't actually kill anyone?" Then in 2018, Rihanna once again came under fire when she posted a picture on Instagram wearing an $18,000 raccoon fur coat. This picture has caused a lot of controversy, and some people started calling her a hypocrite again for making Fenty Beauty a cruelty-free brand, while she continues to wear fur regularly. One user tweeted, "What's the point in having a makeup brand that doesn't test on animals if you're gonna put their skin on your back?" Although many people also came to her defense, claiming that it's fine to wear raccoon fur since they are not an endangered species. But realistically, even if Rihanna stopped wearing fur tomorrow and gave away all her coats, she might still be criticized for wearing fake fur that looks a little too real. That's exactly what happened to Kylie Jenner. The reality star caused a lot of chaos when she arrived at Paris Fashion Week wearing a lifelike lion's head on her shoulder. The thing was so real, it looked like a real piece of taxidermy, which obviously disturbed a lot of animal activists. Her dress was made of faux fur and hand-painted to look as lifelike as possible. Of course, Kylie's look received a large amount of backlash. World Animal News retweeted a video of her in the gown and wrote, "A disturbing video of Kylie Jenner wearing a lion head at the Schiaparelli fashion show. Although they stated it is faux, how could they possibly think this is fashion? This sends the wrong message and fuels not only the exotic fur trade, but trophy hunting." Carrie Johnson, the animal rights campaigner and wife of former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, described the designs as grim. She wrote on Instagram, "Real or fake, this just promotes trophy hunting. Yuck." So when it comes to wearing fake fur, people still get upset if it looks too lifelike. Celebrities rarely get away with it no matter what kind they're wearing. It's definitely a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Speaking of celebrities, let's talk about all the big names that have refused to come to King Charles's coronation. The situation is looking really bad. With the ceremony just 2 months away, reports have emerged that the palace is having a difficult time lining up entertainment, meaning that no one wants to perform. We know that a massive concert is being planned at Windsor Castle after the coronation at Westminster Abbey, but apparently the organizers are really struggling to book big British stars. So far we know that Elton John, the Spice Girls and Harry Styles have all been asked, and they've all declined. Other A-list pop stars have also turned down the event, like Ed Sheeran, Adele and Robbie Williams. An inside source spoke to The Sun and said, "Organizers are working against the clock to pull together an exciting lineup, but have hit a series of challenges. Elton John was top of Charles's list, but due to his European tour, he isn't able to make the dash to the UK. Meanwhile, man of the moment Harry Styles is also tied up with touring and unable to get key band members together, as they'll be on much needed downtime. Apparently, organizers had thought that the concert would be a very easy sell, but have been met with a number of rejections from the talent they've reached out to." The source went on to say, "The biggest names and acts in world music are being approached for the concert. If you draw up a list of the most popular acts in the world over the past 30 years, then they are all being considered. Although there are some performers that we can expect, like Kylie and Danny Minogue, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Lionel Richie, but the lineup is still lacking and it's unlikely that they'll find anyone else at this point in time." Apart from all the celebrities, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle might also be rejecting their invitation. After the release of Spared, the royal couple have basically been ghosted by the rest of the family, and even though they are technically invited to the coronation, the ongoing tension in the palace will likely be too much for them. According to a report from the Mirror, Harry and Meghan will only show up under one condition: that the vibes aren't toxic. A source close to the couple says Harry has been very clear in his position. A source close to the couple said Harry has been very clear and his position hasn't wavered. He isn't going to come if he feels the atmosphere will be as toxic as it was during the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and funeral. He said he wants to reconcile with his family and it's their call, but so far nothing has changed. But this much we already know because Harry has said it himself. In January he spoke to Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes and admitted that he hasn't spoke to William or Charles in quite a while. He made it clear that he is now estranged from his family. Harry said that the rift can be healed, the ball is very much in their court. Quote, Meghan and I have continued to say that we will openly apologize for anything that we did wrong, but every time we ask that question, no one's telling us the specifics or anything. There needs to be a constructive conversation, one that can happen in private that doesn't get leaked. In the Netflix documentary, Harry was asked if there are things that he misses about life in the palace. He said, yeah, I miss the weird family gatherings when we were all sort of brought together under one roof for certain times of the year. He also said that he missed being in the UK and he misses his friends, because he's now lost a few friends in the process as well. Sadly, that just speaks to how much he's really sacrificed in breaking away from the institution. So if Harry ever wants to repair his relationship with his family, it's going to be a non-stop uphill battle. There's no knowing if it's even possible at this point, but he does seem like he would be willing to make the effort. Now, all we can do is wait and see if he and Meghan even show up to the coronation. Well, that's all the stories that we have for today. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.